Good evening. Welcome to the Selectmen's Meeting for December 13th, 2018. Could I get a roll call, please?
Cindy King is present.
Wayne Miller present.
And Sue Licio is present. Please join me in a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to announce that the meeting is being tape recorded. Chairman's additions or deletions. I believe we are eliminating 2.3 because that's not quite ready yet.
No, 2.4, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2.4. And thought there was, I don't think we need the executive session, is that right, Jim?
That's correct.
Okay, so we're deleting the executive session as well, which is number 5. Any other changes? No? Okay. Public comment period. Unless Hartley wants to say anything, we're...
No, I'm all set.
Okay, thank you. And we'll go to 2.1, review, approve, and sign a one-day special license for Terry Roy, VFW Post 6538, on December 22nd, 2018, with sale hours from 5 to 11 p.m. in conjunction with a Christmas party.
I move the board approve and sign a one-day special license for Terry Roy, VFW Post 6538, on December 22nd, 2018, with sale hours from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. in conjunction with the Christmas party.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2.2, review, approve, sign the following 2019 common victular renewal license applications.
I move the board approve and sign the following 2019 common victular renewal license applications as listed.
Oh, second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2.3, discussion regarding MPO, Montechusett Metropolitan Planning Organization representative. Jim, can you talk about that?
Yep, just actually looking for a rep from the board to be designated to attend.
And is this the one that's in Fitchburg?
No, that's Montechusett Region. The Metropolitan is the one out of Worcester.
But it's still called Montechusett.
Yeah, no, this is
To
up
confuse
under
me.
MRPC, but this is a separate organization.
Oh, I apologize.
The MPO, they do the TIP, they do the transportation planning, but this is, they have subregions, which every few years that, of the towns that make up the MPO, they do things differently than MRPC meetings do.
Oh.
This is separate, that each region, each sub-region within the MPO region, each of the towns identify a selectman representative, an actual member of the Board of Selectmen, who will be the representative in the selection process for who's going to actually be voting members on the committee. So we're in sub-region 2, so that for us, the towns of Ashburnham, Ashby, Groton, Townsend, and Westminster, each of us will select a selectman, and then they will have a meeting, which I believe they usually do over dinner, and someone from each sub-region will be selected.
Is that what you did before?
No.
No?
And that's why I wanted to make sure that there was,
Okay.
I think there was some confusion that this was the
Yeah.
same thing, and it's not. It's a different meeting.
So they nominate people from that group?
Yes, so between Ashburnham, Ashby, Groton, Townsend, and Westminster, only one of the selectmen from those towns will end up being an actual voting member of the MPO.
Okay.
But the process for selecting each representative from the subregions is, they do representatives and alternatives, they serve, the current ones, which we never participated, but so there is somebody representing our sub-region, which is, we never did participate in it, which adds to more confusion for us. But in September, the individuals selected a part of this process, which will take until then to get this done. They'll begin their 3-year term, and then they'll be participating in the meetings. We do get emails, I think you guys also get the emails from MRPC regarding their minutes, and I think they just sent out an agenda for their next meeting, which is a public meeting, it's very interesting, and that's where they talk about the priority for...
Transportation
Improvement Plan, that's it, my brain wasn't working. But that's the group that works on that.
So it's a 3-year term if you end up getting,
Yeah, but it's like if one of us, if we have to pick some, my term with the selectmen is ending in April, so I shouldn't even
And
talk
mine
about this.
is-
If one of you guys want to be on it, you don't have to, you can go there and say, I want no part of this, but I want to represent Townsend as far as the initial stages. You could say, gee, I know, if all 3 of us were going to do 3 more years, I would say probably Wayne and I are always out of town. We might not be, I don't know if we want to be on another committee, unless there's a town committee, but participating in this process is...
Can be as limited as just going
As you
to the
want.
first meeting where each
And
town
they
selectman
usually
picked
have
one
a
of
dinner.
themselves to be the voting member.
They usually, I mean, and this explains the process and what it is and how they
Okay.
actually do it, if you wanted to look at it.
okay.
But it's,
I did not understand that.
yeah, it is, yeah. Oh, right now, in our sub-region, we have, Ashburnham is the primary, Cal Johnson, it looks like, and from, the alternate is from Westminster. So, but they only, you can, and it's a public meeting kind of thing anyway, so anybody can go to their meetings, you don't have to even be on them. So it's not a matter of if you don't do it, you're not going to know what's going on. We'll get the emails, you can go to the meetings if you want. Once in a while, I pop into it.
Okay.
But we need to select one of you two.
In other words, you're not interested,
Well,
huh?
because I won't be,
I
by the time they
know, I
actually
know.
select it, I won't even be on the board, so. You can, if you got involved with it, your term ends, you can, the alternate from the other town in the sub-region would take your
Okay.
place anyway, so.
So Wayne, would you like to do this?
Not really. I took the capital.
When, does this say, I didn't see, does this say when the first meeting is?
Well, the term ends August 31st.
Well, they'll be sending a meeting. I think what they'll probably do, the same way they did it with the selecting the superintendent for the school, was find out who's going to be all the designees, and then
Yeah, it
they'll
says-
communicate with each of you on
Once-
what
yeah.
your schedules are, that you can
Once
come
enough candidates
make
have
this.
volunteered for the sub-region, a special election meeting will be scheduled early 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
after
they'll
December
probably
14th, they'll pick it, it says.
determine between you guys on what,
But we have to pick somebody by the 14th.
Correct.
Today.
Okay.
yeah. And, like I said, last time, which was a few years ago,
And they usually meet during the
They
day?
didn't mention it in this letter, but they usually, they send, they said, they did it over dinner last time.
Do they meet during the day typically, or?
Usually, I know we just got an email regarding their next meeting.
Wednesday at 1 PM,
Yeah.
it normally
Oh,
meets.
it's on there, yeah. Yep.
That's the regular meeting, not necessarily the
Yeah,
selection
but
meeting.
I got you.
If you ended up participating or just wanted to go to the meeting.
Okay, fine. Since nobody else wants to do it, I at least want to make sure that our voice gets heard if
Yeah.
it needs to.
I move Suozio would be the representative from Townsend for the MPO.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion or volunteers? All those in favor? Aye. Thanks. Appreciate it.
So if our
So
town
somebody,
administrator and executive assistant can make sure this gets to them tomorrow morning?
okay. That's done. We are skipping to 4, down to 3.1. appoint Michael McGregor to the Townsend Fire EMS Department as a per diem firefighter paramedic contingent upon the passing of a medical exam and query check with a 1-year probationary period.
I move the board appoint Michael McGregor to the Townsend Fire EMS Department as a per diem firefighter paramedic contingent upon the passing of a medical exam and query check with 1-year probationary period.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Glad to see we're adding some people here.
Paramedics especially.
Yes, exactly.
I
All
don't know if
those,
we're keeping up with the attrition now, but
well, I don't know. I think he's going to talk to us about a whole plan anyway.
I saw that.
That needs to go on an agenda, I suppose.
It is docketed for a January meeting.
Okay, good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome to Michael. 3.2, appoint Nicholas Gerard to the Townsend Fire EMS Department as a paid on-call firefighter, contingent upon the passing of a medical exam and query check with a 1-year probationary period.
Move the board appoint Nicholas Gerard to the Townsend Fire EMS Department as a paid on-call firefighter contingent upon the passing of a medical exam and query check with 1-year probationary period.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Thank you for volunteering for that, Nicholas. All those in favor? Aye. Town administrator updates and reports. One is IT, and I thought you might have something else as well.
I do.
Okay.
There's an issue that's come up that I wanted to address very briefly. IT, you have some information in your packet. There are two issues that, since we met last week, week before.
Week before.
Yeah, last week.
Time's flying.
Time flies, huh?
Especially when you're in Disney with 75 high school kids.
Bless you.
Not so
Oh,
much.
my goodness.
There have been a number of town email accounts that have been sending emails that are being generated from outside of our server. I did see a
2 or
question.
3 a day.
Yeah, a question from you, Sue, a couple of days ago, and I know that Beth in the planning office has been particularly affected. Lindsay Butler in the conservation office is another that has had some things being sent out. There's a document that Bassam included in your packets that describes what spoofing is, and my very rudimentary understanding of it is that somebody will send you, or these organizations that fish will send you an email with a link in it that looks to be something legitimate, and if you mistakenly click on it, they then have the ability to have your contact information, and they then mirror your email address and begin sending out, churning emails out to those in your contact list with similar
Kind of like
bogus-
a waterfall thing.
bogus attachments. So with the limited number of folks that this appears to be affecting, you can tell who probably received one of those original emails and clicked on the attachment thinking it was
I've
legitimate.
never clicked on the attachment.
No. You got sent. Things aren't being sent as you.
You're in someone's contact list.
Right.
in
So
this
things are being
building.
sent to you. So the email that you're getting that purports to be from a town employee, that person initially had received an email from these fishers and had clicked on it. Because it's not generating from our
Can't do
server,
anything about it.
it's again, as I understand it and as I've read what Bassam was saying is, I'm not aware of much that can be done about it at this point. So I've not talked to Bassam yet. I was away when this was occurring and came up. Today's my first day back, and I did not see him. So I can get a little bit more information for you before your next meeting about things that can be done. I don't know, Wayne, in your experience, if,
I keep putting them in the spam, my spam folder.
There
But-
needs to be a cleanup with it, and it's basically resetting all the emails here. Not starting from scratch, but what you can do is you're resetting them essentially. So usually that's what happens, is how it comes in. So somebody, I'm not saying anybody, pointing any particular, but you get one of those emails and you click on it.
Sure.
there's nothing you can do about it after that. So it just grabs all the addresses like you described in there.
Grabs your contacts?
Yeah.
Okay.
So initially, somebody in our server must have clicked on something and dumped all the emails on there. So essentially, they need to be reset, as far as I understand. Acuity, the company that we are contracting with for the server and all the other stuff, they'd be a very good resource to do it, because it happened at my last company. They came in, they cleaned everything up, and
Good.
so there are options out there. There is not, I hate this statement saying that there's nothing we can do. That's not altogether true.
No, I know there's cleanups that you can do,
So
because,
it's going to cost a little bit of money to do it, but it's not that big of a deal.
the danger in them is if somebody does not pay attention to, wait a minute, this looks a little strange,
Sure. Yeah.
you know? And it's funny because the ones, I mean, I read up on it too, and one of the things that they can do is they see what that person's position is.
Sure, and they can tailor
And
it.
they tailor it, and you can tell in the ones that I get from Lori, and I swear I'm getting one a day,
Yeah.
all right?
Wow.
And, yeah, and they all say invoice attached, ACHS, you
Right,
know,
right, right.
something like that
Yeah.
attached. I always look at, you know, it's.
The email address that it's
Yeah,
coming from.
what's the email address that's under this name?
Right.
You know, anytime something looks funny, but the number that I've been getting
Well,
is
they're computer generated every day.
phenomenal.
It's
Yeah,
just
there's not a
on
human
that.
being sorted through.
I
them.
know, and but it's annoying, because you'd be
Yeah.
checking your email and
Yep.
you've got to, like,
I get them from Apple all the time, saying
Do
that your
you?
invoice is ready.
Oh, me too.
Oh, wow,
But if
I
you
don't
if you
get
read
any
them
of this
carefully,
stuff.
they're loaded with misspellings and poor grammar, and
Yep.
so it's just something we have to be vigilant about.
I know years ago, there was something, I mean, not to get sued by Yahoo, but many years ago, Yahoo, a lot of people used Yahoo, like they use Gmail now, and it seemed like Gmail people were more vulnerable. Something about their system made it easier to be able to scoop your emails, and I know all my friends that used Yahoo as their email, that was happening, and they do get a hold of your contact list. And I mean, back then, I used a different email. I didn't have a contact list in my Yahoo email, so
Yeah.
I never got hit. Even if I had, there was no one for them to scoop. But I don't know, when we're operating a server in the system like we do, I don't know if changing your password's adequate.
That does nothing.
That probably, yeah, and nowadays, things are much more
You basically have to
advanced.
lock your contacts, make them private so they can't get access to them, and there's a
Right.
couple of ways to do that.
I think too, when you see, there's so many people that use some kind of social media, and certainly iPhones are, you know, they're susceptible to things based on turning on notifications or turning on, it's okay to, you know,
Track
use
you.
this with Facebook or track location or whatever. So, you know, that's something else, but I think it
So
just,
basically, no one should trust any mail that we send them. I'm joking.
yeah,
But I mean,
well,
to-
I think you just
or
have to
citizens-
take the time,
Yeah.
and that's the annoying part for me. You know, I don't sit down and say, oh, I have an hour, I'm going to sit and read through email, you know?
But you can identify them as junk as well, too.
And
that'll
that's what I
stop it.
started doing.
They'll stop coming.
Yeah, that's what I've done, is just identify them, put them in my spam folder or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't had any, I'm surprised, I mean, I know I've contacted, I don't know who all the people are that, is it mostly Lori, or is it,
No.
Lindsay in conservation.
Okay.
Beth in planning.
Okay.
Laura, I haven't seen anything that's coming under
Oh, you know
Laura's
what?
name.
I got one from Laura Schifrin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen
Yeah, I
either
know
of the
I'm-
Lori's.
I've had email correspondence with most of these people, but I haven't, they must not have saved me in their contacts or something.
That's possible, yeah.
Dang it.
You okay?
Yes, fine.
Good. Okay, that,
So I'll be meeting with Bazan tomorrow, and I'll chat with him about what we just talked about and making certain that he's going to reach out to Acuity. We're already dealing with Acuity on the overall project, so.
Are we going to
Except for
be
that.
changing, do you know, like, there's, in the packet or in the conversations that he's having with you about making changes over to Office 365, is that going to change our emails? Our email, the town, like your email address, is the domain at all going to change, or is he,
Sure.
or is it just
No.
going to carry over?
It just has to load it in.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
just be migrated, yeah.
I was thinking that that would be a way to
Get rid of that other.
help.
Yeah. Oh, they're not really,
They're not really coming from it.
coming from us.
It's
so
already done.
Yeah, they're just using our contacts and our
Yeah.
name
It's too late
as
now.
the description
Yeah.
of their underlying gibberish email. So, and the second piece is in terms of the overall project. Last update I gave you in substance was October 23rd. It was this document. That was part of the goals, and it ended with, we're waiting on town meeting authorization for the final piece of that. So a week from tonight, we'll know.
Can I
Acuity
get
has.
a copy of that again, because I
Absolutely.
don't remember what was on it.
Yep, absolutely.
I feel like if there's progress being made, I'm not seeing what that progress is. Okay, so that's really more where I'm coming from, because to wait on that additional money didn't make sense, because I knew there was already some money.
Sure.
So it's like, what did we spend the money on already?
Well, you may recall that we had been awarded the grant. The Commonwealth had said that they had wired the money. In one of my reports, I think even
That's right, I
subsequent
remember you
subsequent to
saying
that,
that.
they had to track down where the money was because they had said it was
And
sent.
did
but
we
hadn't
finally
received
get it?
We did. We
Okay.
did. So it's been probably 3 weeks, maybe close to a month, since we actually received the funds and the wire hit the account that would then allow things to actually begin. I do have a series of emails back and forth between Bassam and Acuity. I can flip those to you, just so you can see how that's been working.
Well, I don't know if the rest of the board's interested too,
Yeah,
but
Acuity is on the state bid list, so in terms of procurement, everything is copacetic. So I know that in Bassam's email for this packet, he did indicate that he had to have them restructure some things when we went from a hosted system to 365. But I'll get those off and I'll send them to each of the board members. So you'll have
okay.
them.
From, not that I'm getting nervous, but I'm getting nervous because we're at the end of December and we still have significant work that needs to be completed, so the goals.
If one of the goals is tied to having the money to do it, then obviously we can all be concerned about the fact that half a year has gone by, but
I just want to make sure we catch up.
they
that's all.
generally don't do it on the arm. The other thing that's come to my attention, again, I had been away, but there appear to be some questions out and about regarding a town meeting article for consideration next week regarding a $30,000 replenishment of the legal services budget line item. When we've gone over the drafts of the warrant to date, each and every time we've talked about it, I've been very consistent in saying that the description is to replenish the legal account as a result of having paid that $30,000 out as a legal settlement on a personnel matter. And then I stop and don't say any more. Now, we had some discussion about at some point, and I think Sue, you even said it, at some point, there needs to be some faith and trust in the executive body that they are being good stewards of the public's trust, and there are things that you can't say. This is one of those situations where you are legally bound by what you can and cannot say, and people may know underlying details, they may believe they know.
But we can't
Irrespective,
talk
you
about it.
can't talk about it. I know when you and I spoke this afternoon about my interest in speaking to this tonight, the discussion was perhaps having counsel handle anything that comes up beyond that
I like that.
description. That way there, it's more authoritative than somebody seeing it as my opinion or your opinion or
Yeah, I agree. I think, that's my opinion. I think we should let council handle any questions on that, because I don't want myself. You always want to try to be as specific as possible when somebody in the audience is asking a question, but for this one, I don't want to trip up
Right.
and say something that, that the agreement doesn't allow me to say.
Right.
So,
And the unintended consequence of people's frustration and you not being able to give more detail could be a no vote. And I think at that point, it's incumbent upon the board to make it known to the body that a no vote has this implication going forward. We would have the inability to pay our legal services. A budget of, 40 grand, halfway through the year already, and 30 of it, being taken off the table, we'd be effectively without counsel for the remainder of the year. So, people can have their feelings about what they either know or believe they know about the underlying issue, but pragmatically, they've got to have faith in you, that you did what you believed, given the
We're not
facts that you had.
asking, the article doesn't ask the town to approve the settlement.
It does not.
It's asking the town just to replenish, and that we, just letting the town know that we didn't just, you didn't do it.
Right.
It was done deliberatively over time. It wasn't a sudden 5-minute discussion, let's do that.
And with the
Good faith was
the care and
taken
guidance of
care of.
council.
Right, and it was a process that was taken seriously to get to that
Right.
point, that we can't, because it's a personnel matter, we can't get into detail, but we're not asking the town to approve that decision. We're asking the town to replace the money. We were elected to do that process, and we did.
yeah, and I think that's where the trust thing comes in, is
Yeah.
what you say, yeah. Okay, I for one am not saying a word,
Okay.
other than if we don't pass it, we don't have any money for legal counsel for the rest of the year, which kind of frightens me, especially since things are off to a real good start right now, so. Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, in my absence, I don't have anything else.
Okay. 4.2, Board of Selectmen announcements, updates, reports. Cindy?
No, I just want to thank everyone that came out to the public hearing that the planning board had last night on the bylaw that's been put forth on the marijuana question that's going to be at town meeting. Both myself and Sulicio attended that, and it was well attended, and a lot of good comments and things, and a lot of things to think about between now and next Thursday. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Wayne?
Just that it's band and choir concert season at the various schools this week and next week, so please attend if you can.
Okay. Where do we find that information?
North Middlesex
On the
has
NM
website
site,
on the
okay.
calendar.
Thank you. 4.3, board announcements for events?
I have nothing in my
No.
packet.
4.4, board correspondence. I have none except a reminder about unregistered motor vehicles. The bane of my existence.
Your favorite
Yes.
subject.
And I understand there's some progress in that, but maybe we could get an update
Absolutely.
on it next time.
Yep.
4.5, approval of meeting minutes from November 6, 2008.
I move the board approve the meeting minutes from November 6, 2018.
I was not here for that, so I'm going to.
I'll second it.
I have a question or a reminder
Sure.
before we vote. Can we make sure that these are being posted online? I noticed there's a gap.
Yep.
Oh, as we approve them, you mean?
Yes.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion?
Nope.
If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Cindy, did you want to abstain?
What's that?
Did you want to abstain on that one? The minutes, you said you weren't there that
Oh,
day.
right, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just going along. Yes, I am abstaining.
Okay. 4.6, review and sign bills payable warrant.
I move the board approve, review and sign bills payable warrant out of session.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we have no executive session, so
I move the board adjourn at 6:33.
Second.
moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night.